Hi, this is Christian Cantrell, and I just wanted to show you some of the concepts I've been working on around mobile HTML development and workflow. The workflow for mobile native applications or Air applications is pretty well worked out. You can usually push applications to devices and debug over Wi-Fi or USB and stuff like that, or use emulators or simulators. And the workflow for building web applications on the desktop is also, of course, very well understood. And that workflow generally looks something like this. You have your editor. In this case, I'm using Dreamweaver, but you might have, Coda or TextMate or whatever. And you just make a change and then go over to your HTML page and reload it. And you can see your changes right here. Now, if you want to start testing this on a mobile device, though, it gets a little bit tricky. You don't have this sort of really rapid, iterative development process that you have on the desktop. So I wanted to see if I could find a way to make this process a little bit easier and ease the pain a little bit. So the first concept I came up with was this project called Encode.js. And all this sort of entails is dropping this one line of JavaScript or this one JavaScript, this script tag into your project here, and then in your application, if you hit Control Q, this little QR code will appear in the upper right hand corner, and you can toggle that on and off. And what you can do with this QR code is I'm going to take my phone and I'm just going to use a regular barcode scanner. So it's just this regular barcode scanner like every phone has, and I'm going to take a picture of this QR code and say open in browser, and the site comes up on my phone here very quickly and easily. This is the mobile version of the site. You can see it looks a little bit different, and I can interact with it, and then I can make changes and refresh it here on my phone. So that's a pretty decent workflow, and I was pretty happy with that. I thought that was sort of a step forward, but I wanted to see if I could do something even more creative, and something that would be even more useful. So I created this application called Mobile Bridge. There's two parts to it. There's this it's an Air application. There's a desktop Air application, and there's also a mobile Air application. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the mobile application here, and the first screen that you'll see here is a connection setup, and it's asking me for a name. I know this isn't the best production method here. It's a little hard to see, but and you can give it any name you want. I'm going to call it Droid, and I'm going to click the Connect button here, and you can see that Droid appeared down here on the desktop version of the application. So the phone and the desktop are now connected. Now I can have any number of devices here. I've tested it with a few. You can have, this is all Air, so you can have iOS devices, you can have Android devices, tablets, of course, phones, you can have QNX devices, a playbook, stuff like that. Any number of these devices, any size, you just give them unique names and you can test on all of them. Now what I'm going to do is, now we see this screen here that's saying it's waiting for a URL. So I'm going to take the URL of the site that I'm working on locally, and I'm going to just drop it into this application. And this doesn't look great because let me make it actually a little bit bigger. Normally, of course, you'd have it much larger. You'd have it sort of optimized for testing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this launch button here for the device that I want to test on. And what you're going to see is the application get pushed to the device. So I just click launch, and it shows up on my device. So that's pretty neat, and I can start interacting with it. And this is using the native version of WebKit, of course, so we're seeing what it would actually look like in the browser. And so I thought that was kind of nice. It saves a step of having to take a picture of the QR code. You don't have to embed code into your application. You don't have to use the additional barcode scanner and stuff like that. But there's also another neat feature, and it's the screenshot feature. So what I'm going to do is click screenshot. And what the application is going to do is take a picture of the whatever's on the mobile device here, and it takes a little while because it's doing a lot of work. And it's going to bring it up in its own window. This is exactly what's being shown on my phone, the exact same thing. And what this allows you to do is start comparing multiple versions. You can compare different devices and OSs side by side. Different resolutions and stuff like that. And this is, again, this is showing exactly what's on my phone. So what I'm going to do is, I'll scroll down here and I'll show the, like the daily specials, for instance, and then take a screenshot here. And Again, this takes a couple seconds. It's doing quite a bit of work here, but there we go, and it brings up the daily specials. So so this seems like a really useful workflow. This seems like a big step forward, where you can test on multiple devices simultaneously. You can just push changes out to these different devices. You can compare them very, very quickly and very, very efficiently. This seems like a much better workflow than tapping in URLs and refreshing and that kind of thing. So if this is interesting to you, let me know if you have ideas or suggestions on how we might be able to move this forward. Let me know. Thanks for watching.